Do you do you know that you have an image of yourself inside? When you stand in front of a mirror, you see a reflection of the physical you. But that's not the real you. You have a picture of yourself in your mind. You know, Dr. Maxwell Maltz wrote a book back around 1960. It was called Self-Image Psychology, Psycho-Cybernetics. It's a phenomenal book. He said it was the greatest discovery of his generation. He was a cosmetic or reconstructive surgeon, and he found he would do work on people. He might have done a nose job or removed a terrible scar. And he noticed that when he did that, there was a phenomenal change in their personality. But he noticed with others, he would make a phenomenal physical change, and there was no change in their personality. And that led him to postulate that we have two images. We have the one that's coming back from the mirror, but we've got an inner image. And that inner self-image is literally controlling our life.
Woo! Oh my goodness. How to give you a little piece of the 1% Psycho-Cybernetics. For those that have never got a chance to read that book, one of my favorite reads ever of all time. Such a powerful story. Bobby P breaking it down. Good morning. Good morning. Lady Boss Nikki in the building. JoJo, it's good to see you, JoJo. We're going to have to wrap you up with a bubble. She's literally been going through so many breakthroughs, transformations, and it's not a quinky thing. Now she's got hurt the ankle. Now we got the hurt hands. It's funny how the resistance comes as we continue to level up, right? But when we start to know what's ahead, it honestly becomes comical because we're not surprised when it ends up happening. I love it. It's good to see you, fans. So before we get into today, as you can see, I gave you a little sneak peek of today's topic. We're going to be talking about the one in the mirror and the power of understanding self-image. I love it. So here we go. So fam, drop a little bit of gratitude. Let's put it down for today. How are we feeling coming into it? Absolutely. We keep moving forward. The growth continues. It is a blessed Thursday, September 7th. Let me know. Let me get IG tapped in, and we're going to go ahead and dive into today. I love it. Here we go. Understanding self-image. Boom. Let's go. Awesome. So family, as always, so grateful to be alive. So grateful for God. So thankful to be on here every single day with you, growing, watching the journey, being a witness of each of your greatness, to go ahead and see everything and manifesting these dreams into reality. So great for the mindset built over the past year to get to this point out today, JoJo. It is honestly unbelievable to see the transformation in just such a short period of time, only a year. Grateful for the Savages. Shane and Talina in the building. I love it. Let's go ahead and dive in. Good stuff. All right, fans. So today we're talking about getting into the self-image, right? Understanding the self-image a little bit. And for those of you that have never had a chance to read Psycho-Cybernetics, this is one of my big recommendations for you all today. In fact, I might actually have the PDF. So I'll go ahead and check after I get off this call so we can go ahead and see if I can get that over to you guys. But needless to say, here we go. So I'm actually taking from two pieces today, right? Psycho-Cybernetics. And actually over this weekend, Lady Boss Nikki and I, we had the pleasure of actually going to over Miami for my birthday, getting around the one percenters like Mike Nav, Nancy. And let me tell you, right, they've been literally nomads way back since 2017. They haven't needed a house. They've been able to literally go ahead and close their eyes, pick anywhere in the world, and just go ahead and be able to live anywhere with Wi-Fi. How cool is that? Think about that. Being able to go ahead and put in a couple of trades, pay for your stay, say, you know what? All right, this is good for a month. Let's pick another country. Let's go ahead and pick out the beach. Let's go ahead and pick out the mountains, right? They literally just came back from going to Italy, from going to Thailand, from going to Bali, and they just scheduled their next workshop. It's actually going to be over in Colorado in the mountains, right? So I want everybody on this call to know right here, right now, that from December 7th, put this on your calendar, Shane, Talina, JoJo, put this on your calendars right now. December 7th to the 10th, Colorado is going down, right? We're going to get some exclusive one-on-one mentorship with the GOATs yet again over there in Colorado. So I'm telling you right now, it's going down. Plenty of time to go ahead and get ready. So everything, we're always pushing towards something, right? The whole team, a lot of teams over there in Croatia. So don't worry, we're going to have trips coming like Colorado. over the New Year's, we're going to maybe going out to Costa Rica, somewhere really exotic. So I'm telling you, a lot of exciting things are in the works. We're not just doing this every day to go ahead and really just be average, right? The goal is to experience life. The goal is to travel, experience different cultures, get around those conversations. I can tell you right now, those 2 days of conversations are enough to go ahead and literally create an impact that lasts for years. Shane and Talina, they know what I'm talking about. They've been to the events, they've been through these masterminds, these private Airbnbs, and there's nothing like these, right? Absolutely, it's already done. Mom is going to be thriving by the time December comes around. I have no doubt in my mind. Britt in the building, let's go. It's good to see you. So here we go, building the self-image. Okay, you see inside of this book, he's got so many gems in here, and honestly, I'm excited to kind of give you guys, honestly, pretty much this whole book. So, but today we're going to be talking about this piece, right? Understanding the self-image. And as you guys can see, he's got a really cool little drawing right here, and I'm going to get into it as we get into the third part, right? So here's number one. He talks about after we start to learn about paradigms and we start to see the power of ourselves, let's get into the next phase. And he talks about the next phase is pretty much aligning a couple of different things, right? Being able to align our beliefs, being able to align our thoughts, being able to align our actions, and also a positive self-image. Whether we're looking to master trading, build up our e-commerce stores, build up our brand on social media, it's going to take all of these key components to go ahead and put these things together, right? So number one, here's what he talked about. Understanding just self-image. Let's just look at that word itself and break it down a little bit. Self-image, okay? Got it in the second lane. The book is Psycho Cybernetics, and this is actually the book that Mike Nav wrote that he's about to unleash to the public. So many gems, so much great stuff in here. So, yeah, giving out the keys in here. Trading Rewired, how he's been able to be a nomad literally way back since 2018, 2019, strictly through trading and the skill set. So, it's safe to say he's broken out of the matrix. Maxwell Maltz. Next level stuff, absolutely. So first thing, self-image. He said your self-image is a mental picture of who we have of ourselves. It encompasses our beliefs. It encompasses our abilities, our worth, and our potential. Our self-image plays a crucial role in shaping our behavior and determining the results that we achieve in life, in trading, in our stores, in branding. So even just like, the little piece that you guys might have caught from the beginning with Bob, talking about Psycho Cybernetics, how interesting is that? How some people, imagine this. I have this crazy, ugly scar right here, right? Imagine if every day, and for a long time this was like this, every day I would go look in the mirror and I'd be self-conscious to go ahead and look at myself. I'm literally looking at metal. I can see the screws popping out. I can see where they're almost protruding through my skin. This scar literally goes from my shoulder almost all the way to the base of my neck. So here I am, a D1 athlete. I'm known for having a decent body, for being able to go take my shirt off. For a long time, I was afraid to go ahead and even go out to the beach because I was self-conscious of my body. I was self-conscious of my self-image, right? I'm right-handed. So my whole right side of my body literally went to zero. My bicep was just as skinny as my wrist. My whole arm literally pretty much disintegrated. And I had to learn how to do everything left-handed, but it almost destroyed my self-image for a long time because I didn't know who to be without being somebody that was athletic. Literally stripped one of my most dominant traits away from me. And that's why this book is so interesting. And he talks about, let's say we have a flaw. Well, what happens even if we were to fix that flaw, even if we were to wave a magic wand over it and that flaw is fixed, how do we perceive ourselves? That's exactly what he said. There's some people that have things that might be, maybe their nose is off, maybe their nose is a little bit crooked, and they go and they have reconstructive surgery and their nose is fixed. And on the outside, they look better. But here's what's interesting. On the inside, their real self-image internally, they still feel broken. This is a lot deeper than most people think, right? Same thing with Lady Boss Nikki. Got to really experience this with a car crash, had to reconstruct her face. I don't know if you've had a chance to read that book. That would be a life-changing book for you to go ahead and get into, Nikki. Psycho Cybernetics. Okay, so here's the second piece he said. Evaluating our current self-image, right? He said, taking a moment to go ahead and reflect. What beliefs do we hold for our own abilities to be able to go ahead and, let's say, just learn any of these skill sets? Let me ask you this. Do you believe that you can become a six-figure trader? Do you believe that you can go ahead and impact countless lives? Do you believe that your story holds weight? That's number one. Do you believe that you are here for a purpose? Do you believe that you are here for more than clocking in? Do you believe that we are destined for greatness? Drop a 2 down below if the answer is yes. Let me know. This is the first place we need to start. Because when I was broken out of my car, when somebody asked me that question and I would have really answered it, I wasn't ready to go ahead and give a positive answer. I really wasn't ready to take a next step. I really wasn't ready to do anything that was abnormal to me. I was stuck in my shell from having so many things in life hit me. But as I started to go ahead and stretch, and as I started to go ahead and push my boundaries, I started to dream a lot bigger, much faster. Right? Absolutely. So this was the biggest, this was step one. We've got to be able to believe we can do it before it even happened. JoJo, she believed that she can go ahead and achieve. Let me ask this. Did you believe that you could go ahead and achieve 500 sales before it happened? When you first started, did you believe that you could go ahead and have success inside of the industry with these skill sets? So here's what happens, right? At the beginning, for a lot of us, most things, we don't have all the belief. We don't have all the confidence yet. Isn't that funny? But as we started putting the reps, as we started to put a little bit more time, and guess what? That vision starts to shift. We start to be able to go ahead and erase some of the fog, and what seemed so difficult before now seems like, you know what? I can go ahead and put up listings. We have Anicia and I, we have plenty of ideas to go ahead and put together. Oh, this one got a sale. Let's go ahead and double down on that. And guess what happened? That self-image started to strengthen, right? All of us, we've all been hitting the gym. We've all been growing. We've all been putting the time in. And guess what happens? This self-image is strengthening. You see, a self-image is not something that's just stuck at one point over time. It has the ability to change. It has the ability to adapt. And this is why, as a human being, we're so powerful. We can tap into these creative faculties. We can tap into these skill sets. We can tap into these different emotions, these different awarenesses, right? So number two is going to be recognizing, doing a little bit of an evaluation. I had to be able to see myself and say, you know what, I can become a successful trader. I can make six figures learning these skills. So even though I'm broke now, living out of my car, everything seems to be a mess, but I know if it could happen for others, it could happen to me with the right time, work ethic, passion, and being able to really just surround myself around the fire. Right now I want to give you all the visual, okay? Here's how this actually plays out. You see, we all have pretty much three pieces that Bob Proctor breaks down all the time. He talks about right here. We have a conscious mind, we have a subconscious mind, and then we have our body, right? For those of you on IG, so you can see Mike Miles in the building. Let's go. It's good to see you, brother. Oh, man, we got the legend Mike in here. Sheesh, savage. So the mind works three ways, right? There's two sides of it. We have the conscious mind. We have the subconscious mind. How he explains it in here, inside of our conscious mind is the belief that we have for ourselves. Inside the subconscious mind, there's two sides. We have our belief, and then we have our non-productive habits. So here's what ends up happening. If we don't have the level of belief for ourselves, you know what ends up happening? We get into non-productive habits. We slide into non-productive activities. We end up hanging out with people that we don't need to be associating with. We end up getting distracted on social media. We end up just using our time with anything that ends up being productive when we do not have the belief for ourselves that we can achieve success, that we can grow, that we can go out and learn something new. This was huge. The second I learned this, everything started to shift for me. It's kind of like Waddle Dee Waddles, right? We can do certain things, but until we do certain things in a certain way, that's when things will change. You see, we can make the calls, we can put out the posts, we can put out the trades, but if we don't have the belief, forget about it. I know for a fact that success, we might get to a certain level, but there's no way to continuously grow without adjusting the belief. And once that belief changes, the subconscious mind is going to follow, right? And how do we start? And here's what he says. With the belief, we can trigger the subconscious mind, and through that, we can also go ahead and allow ourselves to go ahead and put in the actions with our physical body. And guess what that leads to? That's going to lead to new behaviors. That's going to lead to going out and doing things that we're normally not used to doing to get results that we haven't got before. And here's the last three pieces that I want to give you guys for today. Here's what he said. Apply proxies to strengthen your self-image. Now, I remember reading this and I was like, well, what the heck is a proxy? Praxi, right? He says, remember that proxies is the harmonious integration of our beliefs, thoughts, and actions. He said it's a concept that Bob Proctor made, right? Focusing on this word integration, he said continuously reinforce this proxy loop by aligning our beliefs, thoughts, and actions with positive self-image. How do we do this? This is the reason why we're constantly surrounded by mentorship, why we're constantly inside of these group chats, where we're constantly getting onto these go lives, getting onto these training sessions, getting onto these Zooms, because it's so powerful to keep reinforcing the right information, the right energy, right? The right influence, the right network of people, because that is what a proxy is. It's being able to integrate all of these things on a continuous basis to strengthen the self-image. He says this cyclical process strengthens the self-image and propels us towards any goal that we have written, whether that be trading, e-commerce, building our brand. And he said, as we audit our beliefs, as we audit our thoughts, as we audit our actions, consider how they are in alignment with our ideal self-image. Imagine they are entangled, and only when they're in harmony over a consistent period of time will we be able to go ahead and manifest what it is that we desire. Woo! I'm telling you, even these little paragraphs, this is exactly why they've been able to break out of the matrix. For some, it seems like, oh, who cares about your self-image? Well, when you understand that this is like the roots, this is the root of the tree. I don't know if you drop a 5 down below if you guys have ever seen The Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi. Have you guys ever seen The Karate Kid? Drop a 5 down below. You're going to notice something very interesting right here. You see, inside of The Karate Kid, at the beginning, he doesn't teach him the punches. He doesn't teach him the kicks. You know what he teaches him? The basics. Wax on, wax off. And at the beginning, he thinks it's the stupidest thing ever. Learning how to balance on one leg. He thinks that's ridiculous. Learning how to clean the floor with a toothbrush. Learning discipline. Learning patience. Learning emotional intelligence. And then he can go and get to the higher skill sets. But without the basics, forget about building the house. If we don't have a strong foundation, it's going to fall. So I wanted to make sure that we really get deep with the basics, because this is everything. No matter where we want to go in life, no matter what level we want to get to, I promise you self-image is going to be one of the biggest roots that we can go and implement and apply. And I'm not just seeing this from Mike and Nancy. I'm not just seeing this from a couple people. When you study success, you'll realize success leaves clues. And this is one of those things you're going to see over and over again as we study the top 1%. Books, audios, mentors. It's everywhere. You can only build as high up as your foundation is deep. Woo! That's a tat right there. You can only build up as high up as your foundation is deep. Wow. Remember we talked about the storms, right? If we're not rooted, we'll get blown away in the storm, just like these trees. The only way this tree is still standing and all the other ones have blown away from the hurricane is because it was rooted, right? And is able to stand that high because of how deep the roots are built. So dreamers, with that being said, I love today's training. So many nuggets, so many gems, so many break frees. I love to see. If you got any value from today, go ahead and drop some 4s down below. Smash that like button. If anybody told you today, I'm proud of you. I'm grateful for you. And I'm so excited to see the growth and transformations here and on the way. Let's go out and have a phenomenal day. Remember, we can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. We got some go lives, a lot of value coming in for the day. Let's go out and make it happen. Turning dreams into reality. It's game time. Let's get to work.